Welcome, everybody, to the greatest travel podcast in the universe. Most likely, I'm with everyone's favorite guest, Biscuits, Biscotti, and Greavy. He is
Oh, is that
here.
what you're saying now? I thought the Cambodia trip took the cake. Cambodian podcast took the cake. I'm back in the drawing for favorite guest. That's great.
You're the favorite. So it wasn't the favorite guest. Like if you had the same stories from Cambodia, then
Yeah.
you would be you're the favorite guest, just not the favorite content with me in a travel scenario per se. And also, you know what? Bobby shares the travel podcast to his social media, and he's a goddamn doctor. You're selling
Yeah.
boxes and warehouses and have a
Yeah.
dolphin Ponzi scheme. No one's going to care. You can share the podcast.
We've talked about the dolphin Ponzi scheme. That's crazy. I
Yeah.
didn't
I mean,
know.
I just want.
I must have been really drunk during that episode. I must have been.
I just want you to know you can share it. No one's going to get mad at you. You're not going to get canceled. You don't even work in California. You're fine.
No, we'll talk about that more when we visit SeaWorld. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, I'm just saying that you'll be the favorite podcast once you start sharing it to your social media because the world needs to see what you're about. Like, this is incredible. In your
Yeah.
car sales company, whatever it is, I bet someone would be like, I don't really want to work with this guy, Jackson. He seems a little bit fucking stiff. You know, he's a stiff guy. If all of a sudden he's like, whoa, is that Biscotti and Greavy from the best travel podcast I've ever heard of? I'm going to
Maybe if I
subscribe to his.
was, I'm not selling cars.
Well, I didn't want
I'm
to say
not.
what you did. I didn't want to say what you did. So, I mean, a lot of
Yeah,
people out
well,
there
he
probably
was
think
selling cars.
everyone's going to think you're
Not
some sort of like used car sale or
kind of vehicles,
like
but
stick in the mud. Do you know how many people in your field are just boring dickheads? And you could set yourself apart and be like, hey, is that the podcast guy that was doing meet and greets in Las Vegas? Oh my God.
everyone
So,
I've met in this industry is not just a straight shooter, but a heck of a time. So
hmm.
just leaving it out
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, opticians
Better
and
time than
dentists.
you?
I am the leader of the band, but
Yeah.
we're all marching together. We're all marching together. To the party.
Yeah, but if I'm trying to procure whatever you're selling, I want to be with the leader of the band. I don't care about these other losers that you work with,
Yeah,
respectfully. Not that you work with your competitors. I mean, the people you work with, I'm sure, are beautiful, like your
yeah.
father and
No, they are
second
gorgeous. They
cousin
are gorgeous.
Jeremiah.
All of
Yeah.
them. All of them are
How's your
gorgeous.
Crohn's?
Oh, it's honestly been great. I have not been acting it up. I haven't been
Hmm.
poking the bear, as they
Yeah.
say. The Crohn's bear, he's been in hibernation. And
Wow.
I will say he did come out a little bit when I did go to Vegas.
Yeah.
I couldn't help myself, but just munch on some gluten while I was there,
Hmm.
just to come back to life. For
Yeah.
the group. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great time. But the Crohn's, I got it under control. Got under control. I
That
just can't poke there. Just can't poke
That's another thing I think that so people know this is the Vegas podcast. We're going to talk about the best things to do in Vegas, where to stay, everything all else about Vegas for your next Vegas trip. But again, showing people this podcast, you're someone with Crohn's, you're battling, struggling through life. You could be a totem pole for these people. Be like, whoa, if this guy can travel the world, be in Vegas, eat pizza, eat at that little, what's that sandwich spot? The sandwich spot that's like the cult. You can eat there. You know, like people with
Oh,
Crohn's.
the yellow deli. Yellow
Yeah,
deli. I honestly need to get back to the yellow deli next time I'm in Chattanooga. I
yeah.
will be visiting.
But I just think you're hiding all this beauty by not sharing the podcast because people are like, wow, you could be the. There's a Canadian guy who Terry Fox. He ran across the entire country with one leg, inspired millions. You can be this fucking Crohn superhero. Are you kidding me? Like showing everybody what you can do. Don't let this hold you back. Don't let it ruin your life.
I thought there was already a Crohn's hero. I thought it was like
Hmm.
Nessa
Like
Hudgens or somebody. I don't know. I thought there
the
was
guy
always
from U2,
famous
Bono.
people. Yeah, I don't know. There's some.
Bono has AIDS. I've heard.
We
Like
see
he
some
does.
famous
He's a big
crone. Let me
yeah.
see.
Check it out. Bono doesn't have AIDS. He just does, he's like a big AIDS. Uh, I
Crones.
don't know the word I'm looking for. My journalism degree is escaping me. He's an AIDS
Well, look.
advocate.
I mean,
Who do you have for Crohn's? George
Dwight
Clooney?
D. Eisenhower. Am I right?
Did they
Yeah,
have Crohn's when he was alive?
yeah, the king. Someone else really, really famous, Fritz. He's huge back in the day on the
From
History Channel.
Fritz and the Tantrums?
No, American Pickers. I don't know if you ever saw that. Great
No.
show.
I saw
Uh,
Canadian Harvesters.
yeah,
That's all they showed in Canada.
yeah,
So
and
look,
also
these are all fucking losers.
Pete Davidson.
Ooh,
Yeah,
he's
he's
pretty
Crone.
hot.
Yeah, I hope I don't end up looking like him, even though he's younger
Yeah.
than me.
He's younger than you, and you hope you don't want to look like him.
Well, we're technically this. No, he's older. He's older than me, actually. He's
Okay.
November 16th, 1993. So his birthday is coming up. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Happy birthday, Pete Davidson. So
yeah,
I think Pete Davidson has enough shit going on that he doesn't focus on that. This is gonna be your focus.
yeah,
And the other guys are losers. So
yeah,
you can be the hero, the Crohn's hero.
yeah. Anastasia, yeah. They're
Ambrosia? Oh no,
no,
that's
she's an American
Alessandra.
swimmer. But yeah, yeah. Look, the pack is looking pretty thin. I think I can.
Hmm.
I think I can shoot on up there.
Yeah. All right. So we covered that. What did you drink when you were in Vegas? And then we'll actually get into the
Vodka
Vegas.
lemonades all day. It was
Hmm.
from 1 p.m. all the way to 5 a.m. I was
Wow.
drinking vodka
Vodka.
lemonades.
It better be like Tito's or Ciroc.
Well, it was whatever the cocktail server around the table
Those.
servers had. But the service was hit and miss different places. I
Yeah.
would say the best service I got table side was Caesars. I enjoyed that. They had it by the hour every 10 minutes, 15
Mm-hmm.
minutes. It was really nice. Bad
By the
places
hour, every
were
15 minutes.
Flamingo and I would say
Oh, really?
Aria.
The flamingo is bad. I would never really thought. Aria though should be
Flamingo,
better.
the Flamingo, I cherish the Flamingo. I'll get to that.
Yeah.
And then I would say Aria really was slacking. The Cosmopolitan was slacking on drinks. I had to wait an
Hmm.
hour. You know,
Hmm.
this was yeah. His sorry was bad.
But doesn't
Um,
vodka have gluten in it unless it's like Tito's or Ciroc?
I don't know.
It
I
does.
honestly
I
don't.
want you to know it does.
It's got. Is it the? Let's see
Tito's and
the.
Ciroc are gluten free. The rest are made with wheat. So you need to.
What
That's
about
probably
Grey Goose?
Grey Goose made with wheat.
I don't know
Yeah.
about that one.
Oh, I know.
I was drinking that potato vodka, whatever that one was. No, that one, the potato vodka. Which one's that?
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it was
Well,
Tito's and something else.
yeah,
Absolute.
Tito's is a
That was
potato.
an absolute
Absolute is
one.
definitely gluten,
That's the
extra
one they
gluten
were
in
serving.
Absolute.
Absolute.
Yeah, of course there is. Trash and it's gluten non-friendly.
It was actually kind of nice. The place we got table service, Hoxon, the last time we went,
Ooh,
that was actually the
yeah.
cheapest bottle was Absolute. So
Well, yeah.
yeah,
What else would you think would be cheaper? Absolute's the cheapest vodka.
Smirnoff. I don't know.
Oh, all right. Well, either way, yeah, one of those two. But typically, they don't serve them both. You get one shitty vodka
Charge
choice.
$750 for a bottle.
That's let's dive into it. Las Vegas. This is what to do, what not to do. Everyone, I will get into what to do and all that, but I fucking hate Vegas.
I
Do
do
not
too now.
go.
It
Yeah,
is over for me. I am after this last.
it's
Well, I'll go one more. I'll go one more time. But yeah,
yeah,
I'll go one more time. But this last trip really just hardened me to it. I don't.
it's awful.
Yeah.
It's the
There's
dumbest place on earth to go.
it's not what it used to be in any shape
No,
or way.
even like if you're a woman that can get everything for free, okay, I get it. But like as a guy, you can't go and not have a good time with less than like 5 to 10 grand.
Well, that's not even the case anymore. Now it's just all prostitutes everywhere. So like guys aren't even like it's weird to hit on a random girl because you're just like you make small talk and then they're like they start hitting you with negotiations and you're like I'm just trying to have a conversation here.
Yeah,
I just thought your dress looked nice.
yeah.
I
Did you ever think that when like a 10 out of 10 girl started talking to you, that maybe, that's a red flag,
no.
respectfully?
Usually they're looking for the bathroom, but
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay.
But
Well,
that's the thing too. 10 out of 10 girls aren't there in Vegas anymore like they used to be. There used to be girl groups, like bachelorette parties off the wazoo. Now I only saw two bachelorette groups the entire weekend,
yeah.
including only one at the club we were at that we had table service for a really big name in DJing Afrojack. So on a Friday night. It was nothing. A lot of dudes in their 30s.
Yeah,
It was
because girls can't afford it anymore, and they all go, as you know, near and dear to your heart, Nashville, and they go to Scottsdale. Same
Yep.
with guys. Like I tell everyone, go to Scottsdale, Nashville. I'd rather spend 5 to 10K if I had to go for a bachelor party or whatever. Scottsdale, Nashville, or San Diego for a beach trip, or even like Miami is kind of like Vegas too. It's too expensive. And there's other stuff to do. Like in Vegas, you can't do anything but just nightclub and go to a show. We can go to a
Gamble.
show in Dallas. Yeah, gamble. Who
Well,
like gambling's stupid. And sports book, like bet on sports, we can do that on our phones now. I don't need to go to Vegas to do that. So that's dumb as well.
and the residencies aren't really that fresh. I mean, the
Mm-mm.
real big name in town right now is Adele, and she hasn't
And
done a
Shania
new album.
Twain.
Yeah,
And Shania
but they
Twain.
both haven't done new albums in a
Yeah.
long time. I don't think. I think
No.
Adele's was like 2016 or something. So
Yeah.
I could be
Shania
wrong.
was good in 1999.
I know, but
People.
I
Yeah.
was really surprised by just. I mean,
Yeah.
Mariah Carey. That's who, like those kind of names, and it's just I would
Uh-huh.
love to take my mom to Vegas, to see those people, but like it's just when I'm with the guys and the good group, I mean, the activity is to go to the racetrack and go drive a car around a track for a little bit. I
You
don't
can do that in Indiana. Why
do that
and
anywhere.
stay for $100.
I
Yeah.
will say the Sphere was really cool. It
Uh,
was awesome, and now that is literally the only reason to go to Vegas. And but that I mean, how much longer before there's a Sphere in every major city? I don't know.
I think there's gonna
So
be one in London soon. I think it was
that's what
London
they
that's
do.
coming.
Well, the
But
one
also I
in
heard is
incredible.
expensive.
It is expensive,
Yeah.
$130 a show, but
And
I
drinks are like $30.
already a beer is 20.
Yeah.
Beer is $20.
Mm.
Now, let that be said, I think most of the majority when I was going in there, where everyone was so hammered going in, everyone prepared for it as if they were going, to a festival.
Yeah.
Um, that was pretty interesting.
Hmm. And I'm not even saying don't spend 5 to 10 grand traveling, but like me and you could go to Mexico right now for 5 grand. Easy.
Hmm.
We go to Costa Rica for the greatest week ever for 10 grand. Why would I spend that for 2 days of
I was there from Thursday through Sunday and spent 3,000.
yeah,
You
it's
know,
stupid.
and it was stupid. But I will say I did. There were for this trip surprisingly pro. There were two big pros that I was really impressed with. One, I have honestly been hater of Gordon Ramsay's restaurants for a long time. I've always thought they
Mm.
were overhyped. They were terrible. Hell's Kitchen, terrible. I haven't been to Hell's Kitchen in a while, but horrible experience. I
Mhm.
went to his fish and chips place, right up by the link in off the strip. The best fish and chips I've ever had.
Were you
Ever had.
drunk? Were you drunk or hungover?
Nope. I had them
Okay.
8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Hadn't hit
You-
the bar yet. Had just about to
mm.
go onto the casino floor. Had it with 8 other guys. We all finished our plays. Unbelievable. No fit. I mean, for it to be off the line cod from a restaurant, fish and chips just coming off the street. Best I've ever had in my life. Can't make better. Can't make better.
Hmm.
And then the
Interesting.
other one that I was impressed with was Strip House, mainly because of the price points. So steakhouse, I would say Vegas is now so expensive everywhere you go. I mean, a burger's $20.
So it's
So
not a strip club.
it's nice. No, it's called Strip House, and I think it's in the Bellagio. Let me check
Like
here real
strips
quick.
of strips of
Oh,
meat. We're not telling people to go to strip clubs.
yeah, Strip House. Yeah, Strip House,
InspiredTravel.com does
Vegas.
not endorse strip clubs, so we just want to make sure. By the way,
If
this
we
is a teaser
do,
of the
I highly
podcast.
recommend.
Yeah, full
Yeah, it's the
podcast on
Strip
everywhere.
Steakhouse. Yeah,
Full podcast where
it's
all streaming
I
services.
really enjoyed it.
Hmm.
I really enjoyed it. They had great seafood and the price points are great. I mean, it's the only place in Vegas where you can get a steak under $60, like
Mm-hmm.
a great steak, $50. Another
That's the
place I
other
would
thing. Oh,
recommend that
go
I
ahead.
didn't get to go this time. Oh, that's the big thing about Vegas is you have to make reservations everywhere at least a month before you get there. You got it. No matter if it's a party of two or a party of five I mean, it doesn't matter how big your party is, make reservations. You have to in Vegas.
Yeah.
And the one place I was really sad I didn't get a reservation for this time was SW. Um, that place is absolutely phenomenal because you get to watch the fountains, you get like a dinner and a show, and the food is unreal there. It really is fantastic there. Um, those are
Is that in the
I would say
Bellagio?
I believe so. You watch the fountains, the Bellagio fountains right
Yeah.
over there, and
Yeah.
they have another one right beside it. The steakhouse that the celebrities go to is the Golden Steer. Now that is extremely expensive. I wouldn't recommend it. If you're looking for the best restaurant in all of Vegas, what I've heard it's a little off strip. It's called Hank's. Hank's. I've heard it
Huh.
is the absolutely best place. All the locals say so too, and it's a great place for if you're going with the girl to Vegas. If you're going for a date, not with necessarily a bachelor party. 'Cause the ambiance isn't fit for a bachelor party.
That sounds like
But
an absolute nightmare. Go
yeah,
on a date to Las Vegas.
that's what I'm saying. Who does that? Nobody.
Yeah,
I
psychopaths. Rich.
people who live there. Maybe I don't know. I
Yeah.
honestly don't understand people who live in Vegas, but
Yeah. Well, I don't think they do strip things. They do like they're carpenters or plumbers just to keep everything
one
going.
thing I
The
wanted to do is go
community.
to the Chocolate Academy. They have
Hmm.
now a university made for learning how to be a chocolatier, and it's got
Okay.
the world's best chocolatiers. And I wish I had done that. Wish I had done
Wow.
that.
I would wish I could watch you do that just for your own enjoyment.
I would have.
Um,
Hey,
have you ever been? Oh, go ahead. Your computer's gonna die.
no, yeah, you might need.
That's okay. We'll knock out as much of your content as we can, and then I'll give
I'm
everyone
gonna
the non-Jackson
I'm gonna film
love.
this real quick. I'm gonna film this real quick. No, but end all
Yeah.
be all, my final say and conclusion is don't go to Vegas. Spend your money elsewhere.
Hmm.
Spend it elsewhere. Vegas is done. Live stream. Watch someone doing a Twitch stream or something like that. I would
Twitch stream.
recommend that. Yeah, or something if you want to
Great.
live vicariously through Vegas. Now,
Yeah, I feel
the big
like
thing, the big story of my trip though is
yeah.
my buddy, we were down at the casino. I was down 2,000 at the casino. Had been playing slots, $500 on slots. I went
You're
big.
what? What?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Who does
Well,
that? Who does $500 on slots?
I'll tell you, the guy I was with, who ended up winning $42,000 at Planet Hollywood off the slot machine. For the people who want to know exactly which slot machine it was Planet Hollywood. He had put, I think, $1,000 in, was down to his last $26, and he hit it big at the
No one do this.
Shamrock. Yeah, the Shamrock. You can't really see it. I wish you could throw content up there, but it's just nothing but cash. Just a lot of, and that's what they came up to him and they asked him, "Hey, do you want it in a check, or do you want like how do you want it?" He goes, "Cash. I want hardcore cash." But that does tell me the IRS is probably going to come after him pretty hard. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I would have done probably a check, but
I
it
think they would
was
still come
really.
after you with a check. I think either way,
I
they
thought
don't
they
care
like
about how the funds are procured.
I wonder. I've never really won big in Vegas, so I don't know. Like, do they offer to just take the taxes out? I wonder if.
I think you could just hide it. I don't think the IRS is really that concerned about. Oh, there he goes. Well, hopefully he charges his computer before we do this. But I guess I'll take it from here and give you some actual content on where to stay in Vegas, what to do now that we gave you 20 minutes of our typical bullshit. I do hate Vegas. I never go there unless I have to, which I have to for work twice a year. It's also always a great time. I have a great time anywhere. I'm just saying if I'm going to spend 2-5 grand, go to Mexico, go to Costa Rica. If I'm going to spend 5 to 10 grand, go to Belize. Like I'd much rather do stuff than like when I used to go. It was night party, sleep, day party, pool party, nap, night party, sleep, day party, die. I once did 7 days in Las Vegas. Don't advise that. But I had 3 of my best friends all in town, and I don't see one of them, Brett, ever. And he was in town with his family. So, and then my other friend Jason, it was his bachelor party. So I just stayed like 7 days. I wanted to die. I was younger then. Now I would absolutely be dead. So don't do that. Old Vegas is awful. Sorry, there's a company I work with in Old Vegas. They help us put on a great event. The what's the Plaza? If you're gonna go to the Plaza or you're gonna go to Old Vegas, stay at the Plaza. Beautiful. I thought it was going to be an absolute shithole. It was actually really nice. The people, all like who hosted us, amazing. I can't say nothing better. There's food very close, which is very important. They have like a good little restaurant, a breakfast restaurant. There's a Subway, when you're hungover and you just really want some shitty Subway. And yeah, it's if you're gonna go to Old Vegas, stay there. It's right on the Old Vegas Strip. That place is scary though. But if you're on a budget, there's cheap beer in every one of these little places. The Plaza has actually a really great restaurant as well. But if you're going to go to Vegas, you have to stay on the Strip. We all know this. What hotels to stay at? Really, it doesn't matter. The only time it would matter if you're younger, or I guess even older, is I would say go whatever you're doing that week, try and stay, or that weekend, try and stay there. So if you plan to party at Hakkasan, then you'd want to stay at the MGM Grand. If you're partying at the place I was just at in Caesar's Palace, basically, if you plan to do like a day club and nightclub, do it in the hotel you're going to stay at, and choose your nightclub by that. The worst Vegas is another thing to keep on shitting on Vegas. I don't care. I'm not part of their tourism. They didn't even give us any money for our event, the tourism branch. So fuck them. I'm kidding. Actually, the guy's really nice too. Amazing guy. I take that back. I said it for comedic effect. But getting around in Vegas is a nightmare because like taking an Uber or taxi, you can't get around the strip. You got to go back around. It's just awful. So try and stay. Like if you're there to party, go to Cosmopolitan and party. At least do a day club and a nightclub at Marquee, so you don't have to leave your hotel. Simple. Same thing at, let me find the best hotels for you. I know you have plenty of time. The Wynn, obviously the Wynn has Excess and Encore. Encore at the Wynn has Encore. So there you can just kind of walk everywhere. Caesar's Palace has one of the best nightclubs on earth. Why can't I think about it? Give me a second. I was just there. I'll tell you that story. One of the best Vegas stories I've had. But Caesar's great place. The Bellagio, cool. But like I said, there's just as a travel expert, hypothetically, don't go to Vegas. There's so much better places to spend your money. I already mentioned the Bellagio is a good spot to stay. The Cosmopolitan, Aria, good. MGM Grand, good. New York's all right. Just stay on the Strip so you can walk everywhere. Pay an extra $50 a night to stay on the Strip. I know you're like, oh, I want to save money, but then you end up having to taxi everywhere or Uber everywhere. It's just not worth it. Stay in the heart of it. Spend a little extra. You'll have a much better time. But yeah, so those are the hotels. I would just Google whatever's the best deal out of the Encore, the Wynn, Caesar's Palace, MGM, Cosmo, Aria. They're all great. You can't go wrong. There's probably a couple I'm missing that are great hotels, but stay where you're going to party or going to do your event or your show. Skating around is a nightmare. And if you want a local experience for bars and stuff, and you don't want, say, the strip per se, before I get to that, I have a lot of friends who are like, oh, you can go here for cheap drinks on the street strip and do this and that. Why? Why would I want to do? I could do that at home. I could do that in Topeka, Kansas. Why am I flying to Vegas to find some hole in the wall shithole place to have cheap drinks? And cheap drinks there would be still 10 times the price of something in Topeka, Kansas. So what's the point? Don't go to Vegas so you can drink at a shitty place. Don't go to Vegas in the first place if you're going to do that. It makes no sense. It's the least value for your buck. But if you want something different, a little more local, there's the Arts District, which is halfway in between Old Vegas, which is Fremont Street, and the Strip. There's a ton of bars there, and that's where a lot of locals go. Also, there's some good bars off Fremont Street that locals go, and I can't think of the name, but it's to the northeast. To the east down the Fremont Street, there's a bunch of little fun places. Still nothing amazing. I still wouldn't do that just to, like, don't go to Vegas if you're going to do this. It makes no sense. I'm only there because I have to be. I can't think of the. I'm trying to find this. I don't want to say stupid. It's not stupid. This bar we go to that's like right there. Oh, I've almost got it. Sorry, I'm wasting your time. I'm not gonna waste your time anymore, but it's over there. Just Google it. There's places. So yeah, that's places to go, places to eat. I don't know. There's a billion places to eat. They're all the same thing. Steakhouse is great. You can have a good steakhouse anywhere, but just Google it for what you're looking for and what's close to you. Really, proximity is what's most important in Las Vegas. You can go to the Hoover Dam. Cool, at Hoover Dam. You can shoot guns. You can shoot guns in Phoenix or Texas. Texas has a full-on safari with African game animals that you shoot, which I don't stand behind. I don't want to get canceled, but you can do that there. So why would I go and shoot guns in Las Vegas when Texas has unreal stuff to do? Well, I have a Chris Lake story for you. I think I covered it, right? Yeah, I mean, like we already talked about, shows are cool. You can see shows anywhere. If I'm gonna party, bang for your buck. Scottsdale, Nashville, San Diego with Pacific Beach, Mission Beach, even like Huntington Beach in LA. I'd much rather do. Where else? Denver. Siesta Key, it's really quiet there, but I love Siesta Key, but it's old and quiet. Tampa, or what's the place next to Tampa? Um, Sarasota, no, close. I'm wasting your time. I'll get to the Crystal Lake story. But there's just a billion other places I'd rather go. Oh, Charleston, I also love. Party in Charleston if you're on the East Coast. Where else would I party or bachelorette party instead? There's actually, I have a full best places for a bachelor and bachelorette party with Jackson, and his computer doesn't die, on this podcast. So just scroll for it. You'll find it. It's one of the earlier ones. So that's a bunch of places to do over Vegas. I can give you a ton of great stuff, but I'll give you my Chris Lake story. For those of you who don't know, best nightclubs. Let me tell you that. So nightclubs, I want to make sure I don't lose any. So Hakkasan is great. You can also just Google, like, because you want to find who's performing. That's simply what will be the best that night. But out of ones that always have the best performers, there's Hakkasan, always has someone great. Excess, Encore Beach Club, Hakkasan, Marquee, Day and Night Club, then Wet Republic in the MGM, Hakkasan's in the MGM, and the one that I was at that my guy was performing at, I just can't even think of it. I'm the worst. Tao. Tao isn't what it used to be. That was like 15 years ago. It used to be something on Thursdays, especially. Now it's not. But you can basically tell what's the best club to go to by who's performing. So, I mean, you can easily just Google performances that night and you'll see, okay, this amazing person's there. I'm going to go there. And you get what you pay for. I mean, obviously, you can go to Jewel or you can go to Tao and pay way less, but you're also not going to have the clientele. Maybe if you're looking for rich guys or attractive girls, you're not going to find them at Tao on a Saturday versus the place that I literally Omnia. Omnia is the best club in Vegas by far. It's the newest, it's cool, it's the most popular. So yeah, you're going to find a lot of fun there, but you're also going to pay out the ass for it. There's Zook. It's pretty cool and newish. It's in Resort World, another good place to stay. Dre's is more like urban music, so if you want like hip hop and stuff, go there. I told you XS, which is an Encore. Those are really, I covered the main ones that you want to go to. Hakkasan, Marquee, and yeah, the other ones I said. I already forgot. For pool parties, Wet Republic at the MGM, Daylight at Mandalay Bay is good. AU or IU Day Club, it's at Resort World as well. So those are both are on the big come up. Zook and IU at Resort World. So those are cool. Encore Beach Club at the Encore Hotel. So I would stay at the Encore with XS and Encore there. They always have good stuff. Stadium Swim is at the Circa Hotel on Fremont Street in Old Vegas. So that's actually a kind of cool place. Not nearly as epic as the other ones, but still good. Tao Beach, like I said, it's not as big or as good as Marquee, Encore, the ones I mentioned. Liquid Pool is at Aria. It's all right. Sapphire Pool, don't even do it. Lavo Brunch used to be cool 10 years ago. I don't think it is anymore. But yeah. So those are the ones. I ran through it. Well, that's basically it. I really just told you not to go to Vegas, but my Chris Lake story for anyone who wants to listen. Chris Lake, one of the bigger DJs in the world. I threw the Manchester United convention, which is kind of like Comic-Con, but for Manchester United, which is a soccer team. And it turns out Chris Lake is from the area and a big United fan. And him and his buddy come. I can't mention his name because then you'll hit him up for tickets. They're like, oh, well, performing at Omnia tonight. Would you like to come? And in my head, like I've got my busiest work day, top 5 of my life, most important work day the next morning at like 7 a.m. I got to be up. But Chris Lake just invited you to a party that he's DJing at arguably one of the greatest nightclubs in all of the world. So we look to each other and we're like, all right, I guess we have to do that. So then we go, and I'm like, I kind of was hoping, but I didn't want to. I wanted to hope. I wanted to think for the least and hope for the best. So I was like, oh, this won't happen. And sure enough, we walk up. They're like, oh, go to that line. And we go to the artist line. So now we're like hot girls. And they're like, oh, yeah, breeze right through. Here you go. Artist line. And then they're like, oh, we'll show you how to get there because you might not be able to find your way to the stage. The stage? I've always wanted to be like we were thoughts at this point. Just sexy women going to the stage. So we're set up there. There's bottles. And it's just, as you can imagine, it's everything. It'll never happen again. Knock on wood. But yeah, so we were DJ booth, Chris Lake performing, outrageous time. And yeah. But even actually to Jackson's point earlier, the clientele wasn't what it used to be. Now, like if I go out in Scottsdale and Old Town or Nashville, it's a billion bachelorette parties and women because like they can afford it, where no one can afford Vegas anymore, aside from the super rich or whatever else. But now it's just people are done. The market doesn't lie, and soon Scottsdale is going to be the same. Like Old Town Scottsdale is getting outrageous, and the world is cyclical, and people are going to get tired of it and find someone better. So that's it. Spend your money and go to Costa Rica or Mexico or Pacific Beach in San Diego. But if not, I gave you some places to go, Jackson some places to eat, and nightclubs, day clubs. That's pretty much it. I wish Jackson was here for some banter, but doesn't even charge his goddamn computer. SpireTravelEat.com for articles on everything. This is the greatest podcast in the universe. I'm Fraser LeVay. Bye, Jackson. No, you're not there because you didn't charge your computer. Bye, everyone.